Thank you, Councillor Liu. 首先敬你们拜个祖晚年，恭喜发财，身体健康。我今天穿一点是 Chinese New Year 的服装，就是这个原因。还有呢，我本来已经我们应该有很多的Chinese New Year celebrations， 但是我们没有了，所以我还有很多的利是。起点我又派给所有你们呢也是帮我派给你们的邻居，可以吗？我的国语不是一定太好，我可不可以讲英文？可以吗？可以吗？Okay, I will be speaking in English then. I was just saying that I dress up in a Chinese New Year costume because I see this is still a Chinese New Year time, and mainly because I still have a lot of lacy that I had not been able to give out. I was expecting to go to a lot of Chinese New Year celebration, but a lot of them were cancelled. And I was thinking of going to door to canvas and give it out to each door. But my staff told me that you better hold it back because they might not even want to come out and receive that. So it was really downhearted. And I was so expecting tonight we'll have a crowd of people coming out, because usually when I come to Councillor Liu's event, it is like at least 200, 300 people. So I thought, easily give all of them out tonight. But I guess a lot of them may still have a concern of coming out. I am here tonight speaking from the bottom of my heart. I hope you can be somebody as a mediator to go back and tell your friends and your neighbors that we do not have to worry. I think it is safe enough for me to say that, because as a Chinese, I understand why you're so worried, especially when we see all the news that is in China, a lot of things, all of a sudden it was covered up and now we know a lot. It is really scary. But I can tell you, we here in Canada, we are really, really low risk. As I was even talking to some federal MP on Saturday night, they were very upset when I mentioned that we even have to have a little bit of a concern or scared, because everything is under very, very good control, and I believe them. Let me tell you why they say it's under full control. Because in China, you think that a lot of people come here and then they may bring some of the virus back in here. However, just trust that the China government is very careful, checking everybody and their background before they allow them to board the airplane. They do not just allow them like this. From what I understand, they have done a lot of checking behind the scene that a lot of people may not be aware of. And they are very, very thorough with that, trust me. Why? Because the China government really, honestly, do not want anybody with that virus traveling outside of China and then bringing it into other parts of the world. It will create more problems for them down the road. So because of that, they have been very, very, very careful. I mean, we really have to trust this. And the federal government, federal Canadian government, has been really talking with them. They work together, checking and making sure everything is good and fine before they are allowed to board the plane. And more so is after the China government checked it, the RCMP, the Air Force, the Canadian Air Force, they also have people checking everybody. So if they have any symptoms, they are not even allowed to board the plane. Which is why when I have heard a lot of concern from people, friends that I know who live in Richmond Hill, they were telling me that when they were in Hong Kong, they're so very careful, they check everything before they are getting into Hong Kong. But here, we just allow them to just get off without any concern. Let me tell you why. Because it has all been checked and done beforehand. So when they come over here, everything is clear and nice. It's no point of doing extra. And besides, we will still check it as they go out. We will have people checking it. I am in the provincial level. It's nothing I can do when it comes to immigration or when they get off from the plane. And I have been asking that question on your behalf a few times, to the point that the MP reassure me, or to the point that they're getting mad with me, that it is for sure, no problem. We are very, very low risk. So this is how I'm seeing it. But I guess we are still having a concern. What if they still have the problem afterwards? Let me tell you what happened. A lot of them come over here because if they have a concern with having the disease, first of all, having the virus, they are not allowed to board. Even the one that is going to Trenton, if anybody that they see have a concern, they're not even allowed to be at Trenton. So we are very careful about this. But if for some reason they get through that without being speculated or pulled aside, these people, if they really, really have this virus, in 14 days or less, they will feel the symptoms. Honestly, if somebody like this have the symptoms, I can tell you, immediately they will call the hospital. Because do you think they will hide themselves away at home knowing that they will have this virus? No, the first thing that they will get is make sure that they go into hospital, because we are very well equipped in the hospital, not only have a place that is isolated, secluded, with negative pressure, that they will not spread it to others, but they will be well taken care of. You know that we have 3 cases in Ontario. Only 1 case is still in hospital. The other 1 case, it was in hospital, but that he has already got cured. So we do have the way to help and support them. So people, if they really have this problem, they would have already let the Ontario government know. Honestly, there had been a lot of people immediately, if they sense any concern, they had already let the government know. And that's why in the news you have heard that there are so many cases still, but they are not confirmed. A lot of them has been checked and they are negative. What we have, like even the checking part is very, very thorough. I was in the press conference when Minister Christine Elliott was sharing with all the media, along with the medical staff who has gone through SARS time. You have to trust the medical system that we have here. It is very good because we have gone through the SARS time. We were tried and we were shaken by that. And after that, we have done a lot of work to make sure that we are covered in a lot of ways. And after that, we were challenged by Ebola and a lot of other cases that the system has been tested, so you can trust the system. And all these people, after they have checked in Ontario, in the health system, some of them immediately got ruled out, and even if they got ruled out, they will still continue to be sent over to Winnipeg to be checked one more time. There is 1 case, which is what we have in Ontario now. It was ruled out before because it is so minor and they don't see that it's a problem. But even in Winnipeg, when they check it, they see a very, very slight symptom of it. They will still count that as one of the case. So if we only have 3 cases so far in Ontario, we really, really do not have to worry about it. I'm speaking this from the bottom of my heart. But the problem is we are over worrying about this. This is creating a much bigger problem than what we think is a problem. The much bigger problem is, I'm sure you all know, that restaurants and grocery stores, they don't have the business. Not only that, but if you can imagine, we all have gone for Chinese New Year. When we go to restaurants, it's crowds and crowds of people. All those restaurants work very hard, prepare the food, they prepare enough staff to serve all of us. And now all of a sudden we let them down. I really feel bad about that. I really feel bad, and I don't think it is as serious as we think, But that we created another problem which is a lot more serious than what we think we are facing. There are some businesses that come to me and they say, like this time of the year, business for them is almost like Christmas business for the Main Street. And when they don't have this business, some of them come to us and say they have to close down. I mean, it's really, really bad. I heard that YorkRegionTV decided to close for 1 month, not doing business at all, because then at least they only have to give the rent. They don't have to pay all the staff. It is serious. It is a lot more serious than our worry. And not only that, a lot of people say we don't care about the racism thing, that people will have a discrimination on the Chinese. Honestly, I don't care about that too much. But realistically, it really will still stay with us after the fact. So why do we create all these kind of problems for us when we do not have a problem to start off with? And that's where I would like to share from the bottom of my heart. If we really have a serious problem, trust the government. The Ontario government, the Canada government is really, really on top of it. I have received a question about, it's okay, I think it's small. I have received questions that what if we have a lot of cases, but we don't have it. And we all know after 14 days, a lot of days has already passed, so we don't have to worry. Trust me, the government will be on top of it. And the first thing the minister told me that the health and the well-being of the people of Ontario is the government's top concern. So they will make sure that they're taken care of. And right now, they really don't see it. They see it as low risk, not because that they do not understand. It's just that when we see the picture in China, we think that is the same thing as in here, which is not. So, and I also see that question about what if Richmond Hill has a lot of cases. Are we going to lock down Richmond Hill? I think we are too overly concerned. I don't see this happening. But the Ontario government is not just thinking, oh, it will not happen, and then they will take it lightly. They have been on top of it and checking out everything. If things got changed, but if something did happen, they will be the first one to be on top of it and keep you informed. I hope I expressed myself properly and everybody will be happy with it.
Okay, thank you, Daisy.